Ever since the impeachment motion of Rigathi Gachagua began, there has been one fundamental discussion. The manner in which the processes are being hurried is worrying. It was hurriedly done in the National Assembly with name calling and shouting. Then in the Senate, some people thought that maybe when Rigathi said he was going to the hospital, they would have waited just a little bit. They went ahead and impeached him. The window gives them about 60 days, but they hurriedly, minutes or hours after the impeachment, they had gazetted it. It didn't take long as Rigathi was looking for legal redress in court. William Ruto hurriedly appointed Kithure Kindiki, despite the fact that this case was still very alive and fresh in court. Moses Wetangula lobbied, or rather called, summoned the parliament, the National Assembly, and they approved Kithure Kindiki. So people have been questioning exactly why there is this mad rush. And that question found itself into the courts. And one senior lawyer, Aminwa, took on the judge listening to this case why there was a hurry, because it seems even the lawyers who are deliberating and arguing this case were not given enough time. And drama ensued when Aminwa took on the judge, and when the former Attorney General Githu tried to intervene and reminding Aminwa that he's a senior counsel, he told Githu that I started practicing law when you were still breastfeeding, and there was a drama. I want us to look at that before we come to the blunder that Ruto has committed that is worrying even his lawyers.
That is no longer confined only to Kenya. We can have a concept of international constitutional law. And if you read that law, including the American law, which I've taken the trouble to read, and which I've had access to it for many years.
Dr. Kamuna, we made proposals and we gave directions. Apparently, you are not satisfied. What is your version? What would you want us? You want to give everybody how much time?
My Lord, forget about the concept of time. Forget, where are we heading for? What are we heading for?
So, yeah.
Yeah, we want the country to wake up and to revive and to give the life to the country. The country is Kenya, if you don't know what I'm talking about. Your Honor, let the lawyers say what they want to say. This is part of the healing process of the whole country.
Dr. Kamuna, I ask you.
Yes.
We have given directions on time allocation.
Your hands are not tied with respect.
Okay, tell us, just tell us, in your view, how much time do you want us to allocate parties?
What I'm saying to the tremendous respect, my Lord, we talk about time in civil matters and so on. But we are dealing here with the issue of impeachment. Issue of impeachment of the deputy president. It's not a small matter at all. It's a matter that is touching the whole nation. It has paralyzed the nation.
We have heard you, Dr. Kabino.
Let Paul Ruto be given as much time as he wants. Let the professor be given as much time as he wants. Let the Honorable Attorney General be given as much time as he wants. That is the healing process. And from this court, we shall all march forward with confidence. If I may quote Mutaje Makinata, before and bear the Matako New. Let us talk about time. Where are we going?
My Lord,
where are we going with
with
respect, will you sit down? Kamino is talking. Will you sit down? I am talking.
Under the rules of this court, senior counsel has preference, speaks first before any other person except the Attorney General. So if you would please sit down. I as senior counsel.
I will not speak down. We're not practicing law. You're still doing breastfeeding.
That is also. So my Lord,
my Lord, what
Dr.
I'm saying.
Kamuna, finish what you are saying.
What
so
I'm
that-
saying to you, my lord, we need a healing process, and this court is going to provide that healing process. Let the lawyers say what they want to say. What are we hurrying for? Let us not have some people calling themselves professor or senior counsel, titles that don't mean anything at all when it comes to this.
I think they mean something, Dr. Kamuna. They do mean something. Those
something means something when it is you and you approve it. Yeah. My lord, all that I'm saying to you, let people talk. Let people address you. Where are we going?
People will talk.
When the country is burning.
Dr. Kamila, you have made your point.
Yes, thank you very much.
You have made your point.
That was drama, and it seems the lawyers were not getting enough time. That hurry is what many Kenyans are talking about. But another lawyer is saying that William Ruto could have committed this crime without knowing, and that even his lawyers never reminded him that whatever he did carries much weight than he can imagine. For the very first time, William Ruto broke silence and decided to, come out about the impeachment case. We all know that is the one who's behind it. But when this case now went to the court, when Rigathi went to challenge it, it is said because William Ruto, through his lawyer, went to court and they were challenging the authority of the High Court in handling matters that are presidential. And instead, they want this matter to go to the Supreme Court. And that's why in my earlier video I said that they had a common ground. While William Ruto feels that High Court should not listen to this case, the judges handling the legal team of Rigathi Gachagua are also saying that they don't trust the bench that was constituted by the deputy CJ instead of the CJ herself. And so both agree that this case is not supposed to be handled by these judges. So that is the common ground I talked about. But lawyer Dunstan Umari, a man who is loved and hated on equal measures, is saying that William Ruto himself signed an affidavit. And what that means in law is that when you sign an affidavit, then you must accept to be summoned for cross-examination. And this is very dangerous because if that is the law, then it means that the lawyer, the legal team, Rigathi's legal team, will insist that they want the person who signed that affidavit, who is William Samoei Ruto. Now, William Ruto is the president, and he's immune even to arrest. As the president, the law requires, our law, that he is immune to arrest because he's the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces, and therefore there is no police or any military who can arrest him except when he has retired, when he's out of office. Now, the risk that is there is the judge will be compelled to summon him. If he declines to come, then that is in breach of law, and people that will even give more weight to Rigathi Gachagua team. And if he accepts to come, it will be very embarrassing for a president sitting there to be cross-examined. And this is the part that many people are saying that maybe the Ruto's legal team did not advise him, or it was something that bypassed them.
Rais mwenyewe ameweka kidole. Basi sasa rais amejileta kwenye ulingo wa koti, tutamuita aje achukue kiapo tuweze ku-cross examine rais, sababu yeye ndiye ameswea affidavit. Sijui kama mawakili wake walimueleza ni nini adhari ni gani ya rais kuweka kidole pale. Kwa hivyo haya yataendelea, na bado ulimuona naibu wa rais akiwa katika mahakamani. Kumbuka kwamba kuondolewa kwa naibu rais anatolewa eti amekiuka katiba. Sasa mahakama imekiuka katiba. Je, mahakama ile ina nguvu gani za kumuondoa? Kwa hivyo hii kesi sisi tunasema kwamba tutatoka hapa mwisho kuamuliwa, kesi itaenda mpaka Court of Appeal, itatoka Court of Appeal, mwisho tamati ya Gachagua itaamuliwa Supreme Court. Kwa hivyo Wakenya mngojee karibu miaka mitatu hivi ndipo ile kesi itakapomalizika.
Now there's been a lot of quote in quotes illegalities in this matter. Some of us who are not lawyers are listening to lawyers arguing cases. We are told that even as the Senate was saying that this impeachment was time bound, that there was still enough time they would have waited. And the fact that it is a weighty matter that Kenyans are looking into, and that it is the first time this is happening, we are creating a precedent that will be followed in future, that they should have waited. Then we are also told of Kithure Kindiki, who was appointed despite the fact that there was a case in court, and that we are not sure whether he has relinquished his position as interior minister. And then there is that question about the IEBC and how it is constituted, being headed by the CEO Marjan Hussein Marjan without commissioners. And then there is this question of judges being appointed by the Deputy Chief Justice instead of the Chief Justice herself. Then we hear that now William Ruto has signed an affidavit. I mean, there are just quite a lot surrounding this case. The manner in which the legal team around Rigathi are complaining seems to me that they don't really trust, they read mischief. Because why, for example, would a Deputy Chief Justice be the one appointing judges instead of the Chief Justice herself? I watched that thing and I realized that the legal team, Rigathi, let me just talk of Rigathi, is now facing Ruto, Attorney General, the Senate, and the National Assembly. All of them have got lawyers arguing this case, you can imagine. And it is going to be very, very difficult because they are now a team of lawyers. And then, apart from the legal minds and the legality that is supposed to be followed, there are several things. Impeaching a deputy president is both legal, constitutional, and it is also political. And so politics is taking a lot of center stage here. It means that apart from just looking at the constitution, Ruto and his authority might also, the machinery that he has, might also pave the way. You've seen the way they are dealing with Rigathi Gachagua. Part of the employees, the staff, have been forced on compulsory leave. And the very few who are remaining were turned to go home indefinitely. And the Rigathi's office is now taken over by the Rapid Deployment Unit Police. His security has been taken away. So in a way, they're even trying to intimidate him if he can resign. But Rigathi seems to be a hard nut to crack and is not resigning any soon. Kenyans are waiting with bated breath because matters caught are matters that have always disappointed us. We have not forgotten about the wild goose chase and hot air. We suspect that it might not end well with Rigathi Gachagua because the executive usually gets away with it, and this fight is going to be a supremacy battle, and we want to see where it ends. As for the legal team around William Ruto, I don't know what they're going to do, because if the law demands that once you sign an affidavit, then you must be summoned, it is going to be a very precarious moment. And the only way to save this situation is for the judge to blatantly refuse to summon William Samoei Ruto, so that it doesn't end that it is William Ruto who refused to come to the court, but the blame goes to the judge. So because the judge can always be protected by the powers that be.